Oh boy. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We are celebrating here at Garfield High School. The 43rd annual celebration of the longest uh, in history right here today. How are you doing?
I'm blessed. Very glad to be here today.
Joining me is Jackie Gonzalez uh, here at Zeta Phi Beta representing today.
All right. Yes, I am. I try.
The 43rd annual. Let's start with this, Jackie, for you. Tell me about your thoughts about Dr. King. Now, we are so far removed from Dr. King for a lot of folks, the memory, and that has presented the opportunity for his message to be integrated with other things, and that's not bad. That's what you would have. But it's also, in some instances, it does a disservice to the legacy of Dr. King because people don't like to hear about the trauma that was involved in his life that led him to be the person that he was, fighting for rights, fighting for the ability for us to be here this morning in this situation in comfort and not to have water sprayed on us or dogs sicked on us or be beaten and go to jail. That message gets diluted, but we're not doing that today.
Sounds like we need to bring it back.
All right. Tell me about your personal thoughts of Dr. King and what he means to you personally.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is a hero to me and just really has always represented unity, bringing people together, looking at injustices that happen to us all and amplifying that within the African American, the Black community, and showing how those injustices and inhumanities can inflict upon us all.
You know what? You are saying such wonderful things. I'm going to ask you to turn your beautiful face into that camera so they can see you out there as well. Zeta Phi Beta.
Yes.
For anyone who is unfamiliar with the organization and who you are and what you do, let's talk a little bit about Zeta Phi Beta and why y'all are here today. Table is right next to us over there.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for answering. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated was founded on Howard University on January 16th. 1920. We are celebrating our 106th Founders Day this weekend, and the principles of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated are scholarship, service, sisterhood, and final womanhood. And on those services are so aligned with what Dr. Martin Luther King was out there marching for, being outside for, and for lifting up the community. Service is what we do. Yes.
And so, why are you here today? What are you looking to do today? How are you looking to connect? Who are you looking to connect with?
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Wow, I can go on because we are looking to definitely connect with the community. Let them know that as a sorority, we do more than strolling. We are a part of the community where we are there for our elderly, folks who may need help with food insecurity. One of the things that we do is we have a youth leadership program. In our youth leadership program, you'll see them shortly. They'll be here, and they are looking at the social injustice of food insecurity and food deserts. So people who do not have enough to eat, we want to know about that. Where are those people? They tend to lie within our Black and brown communities. And where are those food deserts where people are able to get access to healthy, good food at the time they need it, when they need it? If you wanted soy-based milk, if you had a special diet, if you wanted foods without pesticides or herbicides in it, then I'm sorry, not homicides, germicides in it, then where would you go? And we want to make sure that those are located in the community, so that people can have access to those fresh foods. So today, one of our social justice issues is looking at food insecurity and the systemic issues that happen around taking away somebody's SNAP, not having food available, and being able to access food. Yeah.
We are live here at the Opportunity Fair, MLK Day. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to give you the opportunity for final words to say to our audience whatever you'd like to say as we celebrate this holiday, remember this holiday, and also remember that this movement must continue.
I thank you so much for having me. I greatly appreciate it. And I appreciate this opportunity. One of the things that I have learned is that the movement has to move, it has to continue to move. And that's what we're seeing. Dr. Martin Luther King started this, and as we know, in the 1960s, and we know there's predecessors to that, but in 1960s, and to see this carry forward, we're out here today to know that, yes, while we were founded maybe in 1920s, or things happened in the 1960s, it's that again, the movement is moving, and we want all people to be involved, stay involved, and come out and enjoy the Martin Luther King rally and march that's gone on later today.
All
So
right,
thank you so
Jack, let me
much.
go ahead. Oh wait, let's put this. Can we put this up for the? There we go. And then the backside.
Ah.
This is living history. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you so much for
All
having
right.
me. I appreciate
Have a
it.
wonderful, awesome MLK Day.
All right,
today.
I will try. I
All
will
right.
do it. All right. Thank you.
We will be bringing someone else up to join us. Again, this is Tony B. We are live here at Garfield. I believe this is the cafeteria. It is the Career and Opportunity Fair. And you can probably hear me now. Can you hear me now? You can't hear me. Oh, you can hear me. You can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Just wanted to make sure you're on point. Again, we're live here at the Career and Opportunity Fair at Garfield High School, celebrating Martin Luther King Jr.'s holiday. A wonderful turnout this time of the morning. The rally is going to be a little bit later. And I have another individual here providing community service on the day. Tell us your name to start with.
Victoria Romero.
Victoria Romero. Victoria, first of all, why are why are you here today? Tell us for you the legacy of Dr. King and what that means to you. Now, remember, as we move forward with Dr. King, the message kind of gets diluted, diverted, and sometimes people don't exactly know who Dr. King was and what it meant. No better way to find out that information than talk to people. So, why is Dr. King's holiday important to you, and what was the message you shared with Dr. King? And you can talk to this camera.
I think the most important message for me is actually I was a young woman in college when he was murdered. So I knew of the civil rights movement. I'm of age during that time. So for me, it can never die. What we're doing here today is a 40, I think it's our 40th year here, 43rd year here. And I joined a sorority who believed in social justice, and so that keeps me doing what we do. Delta Sigma Theta. We just celebrated our 113th anniversary on January 13th. 113 years of doing work with social justice. So our organization is here because of Dr. King's legacy.
Talk about the work of Delta Sigma Theta, why you do what you do, and what you're hoping to accomplish here today.
So when we and I think this is like our 15th year here. We're here every year, and not many people know, but our state has a future voters program. So if you are 16 or 17 years old, you can go to Washington government and sign up to be a future voter. When you turn 18, you're automatically rolled over into the voter stage. You'll get all your information about being a voter. We're also disseminating information from the ACLU. We're passing out information on student speech and walkouts in school. What's your rights? What to do if stopped by the police? And what to do if there are police that are in school. Some schools have police, some don't. It's important for our youth to know what their rights are. And the main thing we want to know, we always say when we talk to a young person, is stay cool. It's going to make you angry, but stay cool because we need you to survive the situation and then we can take care of it after that. And we also have a code from ACLU now, what to do if stopped by ICE. And so to get all of that information that you, our listeners are looking at, is to go to ACLU, and then you can find all of that information.
All right. And now the threats may be different, but the threats still remain. And you talked about ICE. And uh, Mr. Hayward Evans, a big part
Got
of
to
this.
say is hello.
And let's talk about that. That as the times change, um, the threats will change, and what that means to be adaptable, and for us to continue to work together to defend these things. And I'm just saying it because this is what it's all about. There are things that are still continuing to try to oppress us, and we have a movement today to try to rewrite history.
And you know what I say to myself, well, this is what keeps me going. Think about it. We would not be here if someone along that line, in terms of your ancestors, didn't dare to live. Didn't dare to live through the Middle Passage, coming over on that ship. Didn't dare to live during enslavement, which was like 300, 400 years. Dare to live during segregation. I owe that to them. And so I always go back to personally is if they could do it in harsher times, we certainly can do it during our time.
You are so right. And I have just like everything else. When I got up this morning, oh, I got to get up, and then I thought about the fact that I don't have the threat of dogs being sick on me when I go do this. I don't have the threat of being beaten by the police. I don't have the threat of water being sprayed on me. Let me get up and go do what I need to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think like, hey, when I do transform to that next stage, ancestors are going to be there to meet me. I don't want them beating up on me because I didn't do my due. It's like, no, this is all in honor. I think if we help our young people get focused back to, it's always been a tough ride for us. This is nothing. This is nothing. We can strategize. We can think ahead. We can plan like we're doing here, and fortify ourselves during these dark times. The thing that I like now is we have a lot of folks out there advocating. I mean, the No Kings March all over, so we're not by ourselves. But we have to do our part.
And if you don't agree with what I'm saying, feel free to say this as well. Why do you think that we still have to find the energy to combat these things that are still present today? Does it feel like somehow the things that are happening today are less significant, are less important, are less potentially dangerous? Is there a disconnect with folks because there are some things that are better for us?
I honestly, if you think about how this country was even founded, as they say, and the things that it took to be where we are today, there are just certain folks that are always thinking we have to be on top. And thank goodness they wrote a constitution that we could all go back and say, but look, you said all men are, so we're part of that now. I think for us, what happens perhaps is that we lose that sense of urgency. And so the sense of urgency is now. I want my parents, talk to your kids, get your kids engaged, especially in the Pacific Northwest. It's hard to raise Black children or children of color, period, in the Northwest because we're so few. Get your kids involved in things like that. Um, Organizations that have programs like Delta Sigma Theta, Zetas, AKAs, our Kappa Brothers, all have programs for young people. And so all you have to do is look up Divine Nine Seattle and get involved. We got scholarships for them babies coming out of high school, need some money. All of us do. So it's getting ourselves reconnected to ourselves.
Give you the opportunity for final word. remarks, anything you'd like to say to our audience on this Martin Luther King Jr.
If you're watching, if you're listening, and you did not come to this today, come next year, but do something today that will get your family, even if you just Google Dr. Martin Luther King, to get reconnected with what the spirit of this organization. And thank goodness for the Martin Luther King Jr. Coalition for pulling this together um, every year.
Happy MLK Day to
And
you.
thank you for this invite.
I will let you go back and do your service. Delta Sigma Theta 113 years.
113 years social justice.
Thank you so much. Oh, oh. All right, Tony B here, Rainier Avenue Radio, celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s holiday, the 43rd annual rally and march. And this year we are here at the Opportunity and Career Fair.
Yes,
And
sir.
so I'm just grabbing people. Look into that camera. Tell folks who you are, first of all, to start with.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Fanico Glover Jr., born here in Seattle, native. Man, I'm here on behalf of myself, my family, my community. I work for the Workforce Development Council, Seattle King County. I'm also on the City Council EDI Advisory Board, Coalition for Climate Careers, and just got nominated for 40 Under 40 by Puget Sound Business Journal.
Oh, well,
so, man,
congratulations.
we're doing it. We're doing
I was just going to say this young man, Nico, and that's NIECO.
KO. Yes, sir.
Has been active and doing community service since I've known you, young man,
Yes, sir.
and dedicated to that. Why do you pick up that mantle and do that? Because it is so easy to say, you know what, I'm comfortable, I'm tired, I don't have to do this work, somebody else will do it. You don't always get the glory or the credit for these types of things, actually, most often not. And sometimes you don't even see the results of it, maybe not right away.
Right.
What makes you feel as though community service, community justice, and doing the things that you do are so critical and important and vital for you?
I think, the most important thing is being able to give back to the community, right? I'm a young person, but also it also comes back to, elders in my community like yourself, right? You guys laid the mantle and the foundation. I think super important to always give back, and then having young people look up to me. I'm a young person that can speak the same language and understand the same things that they're going through. I'm understanding that rent's high. I'm understanding that you have to continue to develop and grow, and you have to continue to give back. And if we don't understand different career pathways, especially career pathways that aren't shown to us, that's not seen in our community, who else is going to expose them to us, right? How else are we going to feel comfortable in an environment where we're not seen, we're not heard, we're not felt like we're heard? You know what I'm saying? And our contribution to society is always imperative. So having the opportunity to just be a young person that gives back and show other young people, there's a positive way to give back to your community. There's a positive way to lead, and taking that mantle from elders in the community has helped me, has given me the the ability and bestowed me the opportunity to lead and give back and continue the legacy that's laid before
Now, I
me.
would love to hear your perspective on the impact that Dr. King has had on you. You mentioned elders, and so for someone like myself who lived through that, you saw on black and white television or sometimes in the streets the things that were happening to us as a people. So it was very easy to connect to the justice that we were fighting for, and to connect Dr. King and the impact that he had on us, on everyone. For you, what does Dr. King mean to you, and what inspires you about what Dr. King did for us and for everyone as people?
Oh man, Dr. King is such a phenomenal inspiration to me. For me, most people don't know I left Seattle to go to school in Alabama. So when I went to Alabama, I seen firsthand the inequities of how things are from where I grew up, from a perspective of where I grew up. In Seattle, like here, there's a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of resources. So Dr. King, what he had to go through at a time where there was no opportunities, where we had to fight every single day.
And it
And
wasn't that long ago.
and
We're not talking about a long time ago, 60 years.
exactly, we're talking about 60 years. And then, me leaving from an environment where, there's so many opportunities and going to an environment where there's not that many opportunities and seeing the perspective. And it's like, we're still in 2025, 2024, coming from an economic development background, seeing communities, seeing how, urban planning can in fact can impact people's lives, urban development, where the resources are, why HBCUs are a certain way in certain aspects, where's the development going from our talent pool into, different sectors, right? And why is it not, why the resources aren't being invested back into our community? So Dr. King, like for him to go through that and have a time of an opportunity where, African Americans were oppressed at a certain point of time, and having the congregation of us being on the same court, one band, one sound. And that was such an imperative thing. And so now that I look back at it now, I really want to see how that continued to transform. So me being a young person that continues to live and embody the same thing, one band, one sound, I'm always going to ride for my people as a community. I have to stand up and show other people. I don't necessarily have to, it's a choice. I choose to do that. But also I want to, because I know there's another young person that looked like me, that grew up in an environment that was around a lot of other communities that didn't feel safe, that didn't feel heard, but continue to follow your plan, continue to stay true to who you are, because Dr. King laid that foundation so you can have a dream. And I'm a living proof that you don't have to necessarily go the athletic route. You don't necessarily have to go the entertainment route. You can find your niche, and your niche is what you have your passion in. And my passion is community service. My passion is making sure that my people have an opportunity to see different career pathways and to have an opportunity to put food on their table for their families and for themselves.
Now, you said a number of different things that can probably go by people and they say, how do I connect? But it was wonderful information. But I'm going to ask you to drill down on just a couple things and say, connect this to Dr. King, connect this to the struggle, connect this to where we're at today.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of things that you said were urban planning. What make that, what does that have to do with where we're at today and what we're talking about today, and why you say that is significant?
Yeah. Urban planning is such a significant portion in like where we are, right? When you talk about urban planning, that's building and designing your city. That's building and designing your environment, right? So if you look at all the different plans in major cities back in the day, a lot of African Americans were redlined and gerrymandered to a certain neighborhood, right? And most of those neighborhoods were undesirable land. So that's, land next to like a garbage landfill, land next to like, sewage or oil where, affluent people didn't want to live, right? So with that, how that equates back to the struggle in urban design and where we were desired to live, that can consume into health problems, right? Area not having enough trees, right? You look at Bellevue, why are there so many trees in Bellevue, right? That's helping the family that's giving birth, the woman that's, pregnant, help her breathe, that help their lungs, the oxygen, right? The pollination of the trees, right? That's all goes into urban planning and urban design. And if you also look at that, right, too, right? If you're in an area that the area or the neighborhood is not as affluent, they have less resources, what's in that neighborhood? You have smoke shops, vape shops, fast food restaurants, and things like that, right? You have food deserts, right? Things that don't really help people grow and thrive, that help them to become at their best capacity and their best ability, right? And even with that, right, and when they come back and you talk about urban design and that is not being affluent, if you have an area that let's say that people or the community is on welfare or Section 8, that's taxes that's not being paid into that neighborhood. So that's poor educate, or schools having not as good of education, books, roads not being repaired, lights, more crime, different things like that. So urban planning, urban design goes into how we as a people, and Dr. King's struggle was because we were segregated to a certain plot or area, and we had to make do with what we can do with the resources that we had.
Now, believe it or not, this gentleman was just walking by. This wasn't the plan to say have him come by and then have him share all this enormous, incredible information with you. You're just walking by. Nico, I appreciate you. Thank you for the work that you do. You again said some things that were very important that are impacting our communities today. And so I will just share a couple of things that make people have this hit home. If you are black, you are breathing 2 times worse air than a white person. You may say, how is that possible? Things that you mentioned, the trees, where you live, where you, if you are black, 42% of our families have zero net wealth. These are just part of the solutions, part of the things that we continue to need to find solutions to today. Thank you. And I want to give you an opportunity here to say what you'd like to say to our audience for final words as we celebrate MLK Day, the 43rd annual event, rally, and march here in Seattle. Nico Glover. Nico, say what you want to say.
Man, happy MLK Day to all my brothers and sisters, man, all my elders, man. Appreciate you guys laying the foundation and continue to push the needle forward for all of us. I know, sometimes y'all difficult. We're difficult, as young people, but, we try to make sure we perceive all the information. But thank you for everything that you do, all the contributions, the legacy, the legacy here of Seattle, being born and raised, and everybody that continue to give back in whatever aspect that you can, education and workforce development and community, to the men and to the women, whatever capacity that you do. Thank you. I appreciate it. And, looking to connect with anytime, I'm here for that. So happy New Year as well. So thank you, community.
All right. And congratulations on the 40 on the 40 and
Thank
everything
you.
are you back in Seattle now?
Yes, sir. I'm back
Oh,
home.
welcome back. Good to have you back here.
Appreciate
again.
it, brother.
Okay, we'll be seeing more of you. Mr.
Of course.
Nico.
Of course. Thank you.
You can just set that right here. Awesome to see you, bro.
I graduate at this end of the
This is Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
La Agencia de Protección Ambiental de Estados Unidos y los miembros del grupo de la vía fluvial del Bajo Duwamish, que incluye el condado de King, la ciudad de Seattle y Boeing, han comenzado la limpieza de sedimentos en el sitio designado como Superfondo de la vía fluvial del Bajo Duwamish. Este importante proyecto ambiental busca reducir la contaminación de los sedimentos y contribuir a la recuperación del río Duwamish. Comenzando en el tramo superior de la vía fluvial, las actividades de construcción se extienden desde el puente de la calle 102 Sur hasta el Parque Duwamish Waterway. Durante los próximos 3 años, las actividades en el agua se llevarán a cabo entre octubre y febrero, finalizando en febrero de 2027. Visite ldwg.org para conocer más sobre la limpieza del tramo superior y para suscribirse para recibir actualizaciones por correo.
Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities, and this is what they had to say.
When I think about generational wealth, I think about history. I think about the history of exploitation, what led us to today. Some people live a certain social economic way, and the majority does not get to live in that same way. Perhaps they don't want to live that way. I don't know.
Generational wealth has some really strong positives and some really strong negatives. At its best, it's ways that communities.
All right. Are we good to go?
Toby?
Let's start. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start. Are you looking into this camera and telling us your name?
Hey everyone, my name is Marlene Monteroso. I'm with the Workforce Development Council of Seattle King County, and this year, is our 3rd year supporting the event. I manage the career portion of this event, so that means bringing all the employers together, service providers, and overall training partners that can provide information to job seekers, whether they're looking forward to a new career change, going back into the workforce, or just, have been impacted by layoffs. They come here and get those services.
Now, tell me why Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is important and relevant to you still today.
to me,
Tell me why Dr. King is important and relevant to you still today.
oh, for me, I think, well, on a personal level, I think now more than ever, what is happening. Oh, I think it cut off.
All right, here trying to. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you now. So I was saying, like on a personal level, I feel like more than now than ever, with everything that is going on in the country, I feel, oh my God, I'm not gonna do it because it hits personal to me. I will say that I feel that there's a lot of changes in the country, and it's impacting.
Well, the thing is, if you're someone like me who happens to be alive,
Mhm,
when Dr. King was doing what he was doing,
mhm,
it was there in your face every day. You know that we couldn't be here doing what we're doing
No.
right now. We
Mhm,
may be facing attacks by dogs. We may be
mhm,
facing water hoses. We may be
mhm,
facing angry crowds of folks.
mhm,
And so we had to do this. The comfort that we have today, the discomfort
mhm.
might be getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning,
Right.
but it's not the other things. So as you move further away from that,
Mhm.
what do you do to ensure that the message that Dr. King had was more than the message? It was rooted in a movement to create opportunities for people in this country to provide equity, to provide justice.
But
How do you keep that alive?
to provide that movement and sustainability for community, right? A lot of the work and everything that has, you know, with Dr. Martin Luther King, I feel like it's an ongoing something that really pulls us forward even nowadays, right? Ensuring that folks have access to spaces that, historically there's little representation, right? There's constantly different changes. A lot of the things that were prevalent back then, right? I know there was a lot of, oh, okay, let's do it without violence, without, the messaging, right? And I feel for that, creating the opportunity, creating spaces, really is important today. Not only, when he was alive, but even now, bringing that forward now, right? Creating those opportunities for communities of color who have historically been, out out of out of these conversations, right? Out of these spaces, and I feel like a lot of that message and sentiment, especially with this event and with the leaders, the coalition, is something that is at the forefront for them, right? Ensuring that community has, a space at the table, that community is able to access a lot of the services, has opportunity, upper mobility, right? um, a lot of the coalition members really, that is one of the things for this event. Putting this together is not just putting a regular job fair, but it's really uplifting the community. And I feel like that, really says a lot about, the people that are involved um, with this movement, and just bringing folks together. And I'm honored to be part of that. And when you asked me earlier, why is it important? It's important to me. It's always been important, but I feel like on a personal level, it's far more important now than ever. There's a lot of things going on, right, that we can't control. But I think keeping a positive perspective of, that things might change, things might shift over, right? This event is really, like I said, really, really close to the heart for me and a lot of folks that are here. So I'm glad to be part of it.
Really well attended on a Monday
Mhm.
morning when folks be taking a day off. They're taking a day on to be
Mhm.
here. There's a career fair here, an opportunity fair where not only do you have the ability to find out about jobs that are available, but in some instances you may even get interviewed or get that set up
I
here
know.
today. What would you like to see happen today for all the folks who are here today? What is an outcome or outcomes that you want to have happen today?
Well, for me, I feel I'm at the forefront seeing, that a lot of folks are out of employment, right? A lot of people have been laid off. A lot of folks are, having a tough time finding employment. Some folks have been out of employment for over a year, and that's tough. So my goal for this event, and not only myself, but everybody who puts creates this space, is for people to walk here with potential opportunities, right? Whether that's, the goal is, for them to be connected with recruiters to unemployment, to have any follow up interviews or have something scheduled, to learn about training and apprenticeship programs, that maybe they can take advantage of that if they're not able to. If there's not enough opportunities out there at the moment, maybe that's something that they could think of, right? And then also wraparound services. There's a lot of folks who are having housing issues, right? And I know that the way things are right now, like as far as like rent and affordability, is really tough on communities. So my goal is for folks to, visit the event and walk away with information that will, hopefully put them, in a better, at least give them a little bit more of that mobility. So yeah, sorry, I talk a lot.
No, that's okay. That's why we have you here to
Yeah.
share your thoughts on. That's what today is for. That's why we are doing this broadcast. And I want to give you the final opportunity to say whatever you'd like to say to our audience listening right now. Some of them are watching on social media about today, about whatever you want.
Well, thank you for the interview, for allowing me here. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm usually very, we see a couple of people here. We're very shy, but try to make it work. Messages, if you weren't able to swing by at the event, be sure to come next year. We have raffles, we have resume support, wraparound services, employment. We have the Evergreen Goodwill. Digital Equity Bus. They're providing services, but they're also giving out laptops. So if you're at home and you're still, listening to this, come on over. There's prizes too. The MLK Organizing Coalition also gives out a couple of gift cards. So just come through, messages, we're here for community. If you're not able to come this year, be sure to show up next year, connect with the team. And this is an event that, it's dear to the community. And we look forward to seeing you here next year. And thank you for having me on our.
A happy MLK Day.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
You
We'll be
too.
listening. We'll be over at the rally. Thanks for the work that you do.
Thank you so much.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
I most certainly can.
Awesome. This again is Rainier Avenue Radio. We are broadcasting live from the Career and Opportunity Fair here at Garfield High School, the 43rd annual rally and march. One of the historic events of all time. And joining me here is Akuye. Akuye, how are you?
I am fine. And yourself?
Doing fantastic.
I'm so excited about this 43rd. We've been talking about the semi-quincentennial 250th. And what we had said is, you have no 250 without us. We have to be included in that. We can't be excluded. We help build this nation. We help transform it. We help begin to build all bridges and immigrants that came here to work, even those that was enslaved here. But you have no 250 without us.
My guest is Akuye. Would you tell the folks Let me see. A-K-U-Y-E-A.
AKUYEA.
A-K-U-Y-E-A. We want to make sure that we get that skill correct for our folks here. Tell us a little bit about. I know about you. And first of all, it is a pleasure to meet you.
Again.
As you are just walking by, and thank you for everything that you do. Folks may not know, but I'm about to have you tell them
Yes.
a little bit about what you do.
Yes.
We'll
Yes.
start with that. Tell folks a little bit about what you do.
All righty. Well, my name is
And
Aku.
don't be bashful now.
Don't be bashful.
Don't be bashful. This be self-promotionally sick.
Okay, be sick with it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my name is Akuye Karen Vargas. I am a cultural custodian, memory keeper, urban archaeologist. We are helping to preserve the history, the heritage, the culture, the arts, and the contributions of African Americans that migrated here in the 1800s to Washington State. We specifically are working on preserving the contributions of those that came here via military, migrated here as pioneers, homesteaders, all the way back to the 1800s, primarily in Kitsap County. They helped build the shipyards, they helped build the military installations, they helped build the bridges, the railroads, but yet their contributions have been systemically erased from those footprints. And we want to make sure that we are unearthing them, we're preserving them, we're digitizing them up at Evergreen Hilltop campus. And that was Dr. Maxine Mims. It is the only African American, historically Black, community owned college for the state of Washington, but they don't want to acknowledge that either. So we're working on making sure we're putting up heritage markers, preserving, renaming lakes, renaming buildings, because they have gentrified many of our neighborhoods and erased them. So we want to make sure those heritage markers are always there so that the community, even as it evolves, know the foundational communities that help build those different areas.
Now, you answered this a little bit, but I'm going to ask you anyway because I want you to go deeper with it. Why is this work important, and why do you do it?
Well, the reason why I do it, I didn't start out saying, "Oh, this is something I wanted to do." There were many of the elders that was in Kitsap County: Diane Robinson, Lillian Walker, Mrs. Greer, Al Colvin, Mr. Green, Bishop Lawrence Ray Robertson, that had made so many contributions there. And they were trying to get the Historical Society in Kitsap County to make sure that they would protect it and preserve it. And when they didn't, what happened was Dr. Maxine Mims opened up the doors of Evergreen Tacoma campus and said, you need to come back to school and you need to work on protecting and preserving our culture and our history, because if you don't, it will be erased and it will be lost.
Make a connection for folks who were not alive during the modern era of the civil rights movement with Dr. King, for those who witnessed the atrocities that were taking place, for things like simply wanting to drink out of a water fountain, or eat a meal, or walk down the street, or just a simple expression of being treated equally, were faced with the force of violence and death. How do you make that connection to people today who have gotten the benefit of the work of those folks, but don't connect necessarily to what it took to have the courage to say, you know what, I will take this because I want it to be easier for my future generations.
One of the things that I always say is that if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going, because you have to know your roots. You have to know what contributions your ancestors have made. I always start with, I come from a stolen people brought to a stolen land. And we have to begin to tell the story how we were put in bondage, we were enslaved, we were forced labored. Many of us came here under those conditions. And when those historical footprints are erased, because they talk about you can't teach critical race theory, you can't teach true history. When our young people don't understand what has happened down through those timelines, there's a disconnect there. And so when we are teaching true history, and when we're actually putting down a chronological timeline of what happened, then they can connect those dots, and they can see how it evolved. When people don't have that understanding, and they don't know those histories, they move in a way that's disconnected from what is even manifesting and evolving now, because there's nothing new under the sun. But because this has been erased, this has been systemically taken out of the record, not being taught, then people come away with different ideologies. And because most of us in this nation have been colonized, we work on the colonized mind, because we were conditioned, and it was forced even in many of us. And so, or you have to assimilate, or you don't survive. So there are all kinds of different what I would call manifestations of why they're disconnected.
My guest again is Akuye Karen Vargas.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the work that you do.
Oh, thank you for the work that you do, because this is a way to educate, inform, and empower and inspire our community to be able to continue this, because we're a learning community. We learn from one another, whether good or bad, we're learning.
Well, I want to give you, Akuye, the opportunity to talk to our audience that is listening. Some of them are listening and watching on social media.
Yes.
Anything that you would like to say to those today who are either celebrating MLK Day or going, well, wait a minute, MLK Day, what's this all about? Well, what am I supposed to do?
Yes.
What would you like to say to those folks right now? Your words, your floor.
My words. Understand the importance of the work that Martin Luther King, those civil rights leaders, all those that they sacrificed even their own lives so that you could have a better future, an equitable future, and that you can build a beloved community, because it is about our we us. That is my pronoun. It takes us. It's our responsibility. We have to do it, and it's going to take all of us. So that's the word that I would leave to the community. It's going to take all of us to be able to move all of this equitable rights, whether it's voting, whether it's immigrations, forward, because it's us that make the mess, and it's us that got to clean it up.
Well said. Thank you, Akuye, for joining me right here. And we're going to see you later.
Okay. Thank you. All righty.
Hey, Buford, why are you kicking that old CD player? Because I can't hear the radio. Can't hear the radio? Let me help you.
Hey, you two, quit beating up that outdated audio equipment. You can't hear the radio on a CD player.
You can.
No, you can't, you adorable simpletons. But you can hear some great radio on the Rainier Avenue radio app. It's brand new, it's free, and it's available for Android and iPhone. In fact, you can download the Rainier Avenue radio app right now from the Google Play Store or the iPhone App Store.
I'm going to go get me a smartphone right now. I'm just going to put a graduation cap on my rotary phone.
You two have very significant personal issues. Get the Rainier Avenue Radio.world app today.
If you or a family member are 55 or over and need nursing home level care, you want to keep living where you are, check out Providence Elder Place PACE. Our program centers in the Rainier Valley and throughout Seattle and King County, offering healthcare, housing, transportation, social, and recreational activities. There are no copays or deductibles, and it's covered through Medicare and Medicaid. Providence Elder Place PACE specializes in serving those with chronic health conditions, including diabetes, kidney disease, heart disease, and dementia. For over 25 years, this program keeps seniors out of nursing homes, assists family members caring for elderly loved ones, and works to keep the most vulnerable members of our community healthy in their homes. Call 206-320-5325. That's 206-320-5325. Or visit providence.org/elderplace.
This is Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
The climate crisis is here, and communities most impacted are standing up. This is Earth Deserves More Than a Day, hosted by Rainier Avenue Radio and King County Parks. From elected officials, grassroots leaders, from river tours to cultural art, we gather to take action. Listen in. Learn more, then get involved, because the Earth can't wait, and neither can we. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities, and this is what they had to say.
Generational wealth is incredibly difficult to accrue. My mom likes to joke that we come from a long line of people who are bad at money. She always talks about wanting to buy a house so that she has something to leave her kids. I got really sick when I was a kid, and all our money went towards that. I had to leave college because I couldn't afford my next year's tuition, medical bills, and life. It's all so difficult. And then you think about wanting to leave something behind for your kids. Well, how can you leave something behind for your kids when every day you're trying to make sure that your kids have joy and happiness and health and fulfillment today? Every day I'm really concerned about if I'll be able to keep living and making art in this city for myself.
This campaign to create a generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Tune in to Real Estate and Money every Tuesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3 here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Join your hosts Violetta Strash with John L. Scott Kent North and Tina Lombard with Guaranteed Rate Affinity. They'll help you navigate the waters of our volatile real estate market and offer you some guidance on how to make your hard-earned money work to make your dreams come true. Learn about current trends, get tips on financial matters, and have fun, interactive discussions about your home inside and out. That's Real Estate and Money.
Turn up your radio wherever you at. We about to bring it.
Street Beat with Tony B.
Tony B will give you a chance to tackle local and international issues that affect your community.
Street Beat. Street Beat. Tony.
This is a Rainier Avenue Radio message on fentanyl awareness in our communities.
We need to be a community.
Ready? All right, here we go. Joining me are, Proof, can you still hear me?
Right here, because we're right next to you.
Oh, I'm not hearing it, Daniel. But you can't hear me in the
I can't hear you in the headphones. I can hear myself now.
You can hear yourself.
I could definitely hear myself. Ooh. Definitely hear you.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you let me know when? Okay, there you go. We're good now,
yeah,
Daniel.
We're good.
Welcome to 43rd annual March. Join me now. I don't want to say this means that you're getting old when I say the legendary.
I mean, I've been doing some work. That's all that means.
The legendary Proof in the play, man. So glad to see you. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Man, happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day to you too, man. I'm living the dream just like he told us to.
I would like to know from you to share with us the impact that Martin Luther King Jr. had on you
personally?
Personally speaking, it's just somebody to stand 10 toes about what he believed in, and he had a dream, and he fought for that dream. And every day, I live for my dream. My dream was to take my camera and do as much as I can with it, and I've been trying to do the best job I can. But he makes me want to keep dreaming and keep striving for my dreams to come true. It's so much that we have accomplished since he's had that dream, and I think we need to at least acknowledge that and show some respect for it. You know what I mean? And for my respect for him, I always would try my best to impact my community that I'm in and try to make an impact, not just be there. So,
And that work that you do in our community is so vital. Sometimes you don't get the instant gratification,
No.
that you make it when you're doing this work, but you continue to do the work. Why is it important for you to just continue to keep moving, to continue to keep striving, to do this work in our community for our community?
because our legacy needs to stay here. I think, for me personally, I think our legacy is being lost, and our traditions are being lost by technology and phones and things of that nature. We're not getting no more traditions and stories that being told. Paul Bunyan and tall tales are almost like non-existent anymore. And so I want to keep that legacy alive. I want them to understand that we were here before they just got here, and that just because it gets hard right now, understand that Martin Luther King did a whole lot for us to get where we at. So you should strive every day to make your dreams come true, man. He said he had a dream. Now I think some of his dreams came true.
Yeah.
And I think for his dreams to come true, that means anybody's dreams to come true. If y'all hear me, right? On Martin Luther King Day, on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, if you have a dream, go after it. Don't settle for looking at somebody else's dreams come true. Try to get your own dreams to come true too. While you supporting others. Because support makes dreams come true, I promise you. And that's what I'm here to do, is just to keep supporting others and making their dreams come true as I'm making my dreams come true.
You said something I think is really important. And Dr. King said, in times of inconvenience is when you need to push further, go harder. Explain the relevance to that and what that means, because that's when a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't do this today. Today is the day I need to take the day off. I need to get some rest. I can't push forward to this." Sometimes, what does that mean for you in times of inconvenience?
Man, I've been inconvenient my whole life being a black man in America. So every day I don't know no quit, because the people before me, my grandmother, my grandfathers, they were examples of what hard work was. And every day wasn't good. I ain't never seen a whole day be good. It's gonna have some bumps in the road. And I'm tired of this microwave things of my dreams come true by popping it in the microwave. It doesn't happen like that. It ain't like it's nothing like a well-cooked meal, And I think right now we're facing adversity now. Our kids are lacking the facing adversity and standing tall in that and what their dreams are. I think they fade away so many times, and we as a community allow them to jump ship and go here and go there and don't finish what they started. And I think a lot of that right now is like, look, man, you wanted this, you started it, finish it, and then we'll assess it later. But we can analyze it after it's done. But we got to actually finish, and that's what gets me my mind flowing is that we're quitting way too often. Dr. King was getting bit by dogs, sprayed with water hoses. They told him they couldn't go into certain places, and you got it all right now, and you still trying to quit. I just don't get that part.
You know what I want you to do right now? Because we've talked a little bit about what, but I want you to tell the folks here, because everybody may not know you. When we say poof in the play, tell us what you do, and you be self-promotionally shameless when you do this.
I don't know how to be shameless. You know that now.
This is the play. Tell us, audience, what you do. First of all, I'm so proud of you and the work that you do.
Thank you.
Tell us what you do. Going back to everything, tell us what you do. When we poof in the play, for those in the community, we know Northwest ESPN. But for those who may not, tell us what you do.
Man, she made me proof in the play. This is Northwest ESPN, man. I'm the sports journalist for the surrounding areas from Vancouver to Vancouver. There ain't a gym I have not been in. There ain't been a march I have not marched in. It's not anything that I haven't been in to try to make an impact. I'm trying to make sure in 10, 20, 30, 50 years from now, they still have our legacy here. Because sometimes they trying to tarnish it with AI and all of that, but that's not proof. I'm live and direct, the truth with proof. I'm always with Converge Media and with Rainier Avenue Radio. I work with everybody that's trying to strive for greatness, and that's what I'm trying to strive for. So if you guys want to see what I do every day or want to hear the roundup, you can go on Facebook on Proof in the Play. If you want to just see what I'm doing from the day-to-day basis, you can go on IG, Proof in the Play. You know, if you see the hashtag I shot you, that's me. You may improve in the play. I want to give a big shout out to you, Tony B, because you know sometimes people don't we don't recognize each other enough, and we're in the same space, but we're working so much. I want you to say thank you for giving me an opportunity. You know, my voice, I didn't know my voice, and I was trying to know my voice, and you allowed me to be on the radio to learn my voice. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Because everybody doesn't give you that opportunity to know your voice. Sometimes you're just trapped in the closet listening to your own voice. People said, yeah, you got a voice, and I didn't know it until you told me, hey, come on here and listen to yourself. So
Well, now I'm going to have you use that voice. Tell those who are listening right now and those who are watching on social media, whatever you would like to say about MLK Day, about celebrating today, about believing in yourself, whatever that message is that you want to share with our audience, folks, Proof in the Play.
Hey, man, happy MLK Junior Day. I want to tell you, dreams do come true if you work hard for them. Hey, man, all of these people around here, hey, man, support makes dreams come true, but you got to fight for your dream to come true. Martin Luther King said he had a dream, but he fought for it. And I need you guys to fight for it. I promise you, I'm going to fight every day to capture every moment that I can. I just need you guys to face your dreams and face it head on. I'm telling you, I'm right with you, baby.
Proof in the Play.
Hey.
Happy MLK Day.
Man, happy MLK Day, baby. Hey, can I get a picture?
Mga kaibigan, ito po si Kuya Bert Kawili.
And this is Miles Calderon from Australia.
And I'm Norb Kawili, also known as Norbcam. Just telling you po ang latest news and events from the Philippines at yung long Filipino community, Phil Radio po.
We play Filipino music and interview guests from all around the world.
And I'll keep you updated on the latest Seahawks and sports news. Kaya always tune in, Phil Radio, every Tuesday, 1 to 2:30 p.m. Pacific Time on RainierAvenueRadio.org.
And in YouTube and Facebook. Salamat po.
Atlantic Street Center has been serving the children, youth, and families of the Seattle-King County area since 1910. We partner with families and communities to raise healthy, successful children and youth through services including counseling, early learning, youth development, domestic violence, and education support for school-aged children. Committed to serving the African-American community, Atlantic Street Center provides services and support for all marginalized people. Learn more at AtlanticStreetCenter.org.
This is a Rainier Avenue radio message on fentanyl awareness in our communities. We're going to have open, honest, frank conversation today about fentanyl.
But I think it's just going to take everybody. It's going to take communities, it's going to take cities, it's going to take counties, state and federal partners to all come together to really tackle this. I think first and foremost, it starts with us, making sure we have the education and we have the wherewithal to help out on the streets, because this is where we are, and it affects all of us.
How easy is it to find information about what's going on in your community? And I'll just tell you, it's not very easy. And a lot of information is sort of outsourced. And
This has been a Rainier Avenue radio message on fentanyl in our communities.
You're listening to RainierAvenueRadio.org. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram, RainierAvenueRadio.world, and on Twitter at Rainier Ave Radio.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not meeting Mrs. Jones in that cafe for a chat and nothing else, I'm listening to RainierAvenueRadio.world.
Một thông điệp chính thức từ Medicare, một luật mới đang giúp mọi người tiết kiệm nhiều tiền hơn đối với các chi phí thuốc y toa. Quý vị cũng có thể tiết kiệm được tiền với chương trình trợ giúp bổ sung Extra Help của Medicare. Số tiền lệ phí bảo hiểm của quý vị bằng không và chi phí tự chi trả của quý vị thấp, ai cần nộp đơn. Những người độc thân kiếm được ít hơn 23.000 đô la một năm, hoặc những cặp vợ chồng đã kết hôn kiếm được ít hơn 31.000 đô la một năm. Ngay cả khi quý vị không nghĩ mình họ đủ điều kiện.
Welcome back to Rainier Avenue Radio. It's me, Tony B. We are celebrating MLK Day. It feels so good to just even say that. You know what? I'm celebrating MLK Day at the 43rd annual rally and march here at Garfield. Joining me is Sharika Johnson. Sharika, happy MLK Day to you. Now, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you well.
Okay, awesome. I want to start off by this. Tell our audience, as some of us are listening on the radio, some of them are watching, being on social media, why MLK Day is so important to you. Now, this has changed because it's been a minute here, and so some folks who were born during this time, it has a meaning to them. Some folks who were born a little later some folks it even has a different meaning. For you, why is this day important? If it is, it is important.
It's definitely important. For me, MLK Day is extremely important. I think about my ancestors and so I'm the first generation to really be born with my civil rights because civil rights was enacted in 1965. My mother was born in 1960. So to me, it's extremely important for those who marched for me to be able to vote, for those who marched for me to be able to have more opportunities that have been afforded to me. I feel that none of us have made it until all of us have made it. And so that we must continue to march, advocate, and fight for justice and equity and inclusion for all.
Give her a contract. That was awesome. That was wonderful. So what are you doing here today?
So I have been celebrating with the MLK Coalition for 9 years. When I moved here from Texas in 2016, someone told me about this event, and I was like, wow, this is an extremely important event that we must get involved in and participate. That's my husband there, Ron, and then my nephew who used to live with us. He's back in Texas now. We have been a part of this celebration and this organization. We volunteer with the Opportunity Fair because it's important for people to have jobs that provide livable wages. We know that everything is going up but wages. And so I advocate. I'm also a part of an organization called the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, where we advocate for Black women and girls and their families. And so for economic empowerment, for education and health. And it's important that we have equity in all of those spaces.
What would you, some of the folks who are watching, they obviously aren't going to make it down here because they can't. Some folks, if you can, get down here.
Yes. You don't want to miss it.
You don't want to miss this. What would you like to see come out of today for folks who are here at the Career and Opportunity Fair, and then the rally, and then the march? What would you like to see come out of this?
Yeah.
Today?
I think I would love to see us uplifting one another and us being in unity. I think that when we link arms and we all understand what is at stake, democracy is at stake. We know that opportunities are at stake. They're trying to erase history, erase culture, and it's important that we all advocate and fight because when something happens to one of us, it happens to all of us, that we are all interconnected. And so we must continue to fight for justice, not just for our generation, but for generations to come.
Now, it seems as though you've made a connection. You have an awareness of your place in this timeline that didn't begin with Dr. King, but at that point, the modern era of the civil rights movement. What would you say, or do you say, to people who don't have that connection, who have the opportunities that were earned during that period of time and have the benefit of enjoying those opportunities like we do? We're not sitting here today waiting to find out if dogs are going to be sick on us. We just get to do it, but still it seems hard to us. But what do you say, and would you say to folks out there who don't necessarily make that connection the same way that you do?
Sure. We all have to be the change that we want to see. It doesn't start with the next person. If one person takes a small step, That's many small steps together that will make a movement. And so if we are complaining about what we're seeing in the news, if you're feeling the economic strain, if you're feeling that it's happened to your loved one who doesn't have support or resources, or if you're just seeing it in the news and you don't know what to do, we start the change. And if you want to see something done, we each just take one small step, and that's what makes the change and the movement. And so I think we can all see the news cycles. I think that we can all see what's happening within our communities. You would have to be blind not to see what is happening, and or not feeling some type of tug or a pull. But it just takes one small step, and we can each be that one small step to make a change.
All right. We are going to get ready to go down to the rally, which means you are the last person that I'm going to talk to. That provides you the final words to say to folks who are listening right now about MLK Day in any way, shape, form that you want to our audience. Sharika, what would you like to say to wrap this up to our audience right now about MLK Day?
Yeah, I would love to say if you have not participated in MLK Day, please get involved. You can go to United Way King County to sign up, but please get involved in one effort. Martin Luther King Jr. and so many others that have helped us to get to where we are. We must be the continuation and pass the baton. They passed it to us, and it's up to us to carry that so that we can pass it on to the next generation. We don't want to take for granted any of this at all. And so if you want to be a change maker, whether it's a small part or a big part, we all play a part. And so I would encourage you to get involved.
Thank you, Sharika. That's it. We're going to transfer, and we're going to go down and we're going to start broadcasting from the rally. This has been Rainier Avenue Radio live from the Career and Opportunity Fair. Come back in a few minutes, and we'll be coming to you live from the rally. Special thanks to Mr. Daniel Bellis over there producing this. And this has been wonderful, really well attended. Sharika, thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Signing off, but we'll be back in just a few for the rally. On behalf of everyone, this is Tony B for Rainier Avenue Radio saying, remember, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're probably right. We're out. Peace.